Amalaki Ekadashi. The topics of the glories of Amalaki Ekadashi, which occurs during the waxing moon in the months of February-March, are described in the Brahmanda Purana in the conversation between King Mandata and sage Vasishtha. Once King Mandata asked the sage Vasishtha, "O most fortunate one, if you are pleased and merciful to me, then kindly describe to me about a vow by following of which I can attain all auspiciousness." The sage Vasishtha replied, "O king, now I will explain to you the glories and history of a great vow which awards one all auspiciousness. O king, the name of this vow is Amalaki Ekadashi. The influence of the piety accumulated by the following this Ekadashi certainly destroys all one's sinful reactions and awards liberation as well as the result of donation 1,000 cows in charity. In the ancient times, there was a city named Vaidisha that was inhabited by many healthy and prosperous Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. O lion-hearted king, there was no atheistic or sinful person in this beautiful city. The entire city was filled with the sound of Vedic mantras. In this famous city there lived a truthful, pious king named Chatraratha, who was born in the family of King Vasabinduka, a member of the dynasty of the moon. King Chatraratha was powerful, heroic, opulent, and well versed in the scriptures. During the reign of the king, all auspiciousness and prosperity was found in the kingdom. All his subjects were attached to the devotional service of Lord Vishnu, and all of them observed the vow of Ekadashi. Due to remaining engaged in the devotional service of Lord Hari, everyone lived happily in his kingdom. There was not a single poor or miserly person in his kingdom. After living happily for many, many years in this way, once Amalaki Ekadashi, conjoined with Dvadashi, which occurs during the waxing moon in the month of February-March, and realizing that this Ekadashi bestows great benefits, the king and his subjects resolved to observe this Ekadashi with proper rules and regulations. Early in the morning, on the day of Ekadashi, the king and his subjects took bath in the river and went to the temple of Lord Vishnu, which was situated on the river bank. Within the temple there was an Amalaki tree, where the king placed a pitcher filled with water and an umbrella, clothes, shoes, and 5 kinds of jewels for the worship. Thereafter the king worshipped Lord Parashurama in Amalaki by offering water, shoes, canopy, gold, diamonds, rubies, pearls, sapphires, and fragrant incense. Then the king, led by the sages and followed by his subjects, offered prayers to Lord Parashurama as follows. O Lord Parashurama, O son of Renuka, O you who is situated under the shade of the Amalaki tree, O bestower of material enjoyment and liberation, I offer my respectful obeisances to you. Then they offered prayers to the Amalaki tree. O Amalaki, O sustainer of the universe, O offspring of Lord Brahma, O destroyer of all sins, we offer our respectful obeisances to you. Kindly accept our offering. After properly worshipping the Lord in Amalaki in this way, the king, accompanied by his subjects, remained awake that night within the temple of Lord Vishnu. They sang songs and offered beautiful prayers with devotion in praise of the Lord and the Amalaki tree. At that time, by the arrangement of Providence, a hunter came there. This hunter earned his livelihood simply by killing various living entities. When he came to the temple, which was decorated with ghee lamp, incense, and other auspicious items, and saw that many people were remaining awake while glorifying the Lord, he sat down with them and began to contemplate what was going on. The fortunate hunter took darshan of Lord Damodara, who was placed on the top of the pitcher, and began to hear the transcendental topics of Vishnu. Although he was afflicted with hunger, he was astonished to see this and remained awake that whole night while hearing the glories of Ekadashi. In the morning, the king left for his palace, accompanied by his subjects. The hunter also returned home and happily took his meal. After many years, the hunter left his body. By the influence of Amalaki Ekadashi and as a result of remaining awake on the night of this Ekadashi, in his next life, the hunter became a king with innumerable elephants, horses, chariots, and a large army. The hunter took birth as Vasurat, the powerful son of King Vidurat, who ruled the famous city of Jayanti. King Vasurat ruled 1,000,000 villages. He was as brilliant as the sun, as effulgent as the moon, as powerful as Lord Vishnu, and as tolerant as the earth. He was truthful and fixed in his occupational duties, and thus became a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. One day, King Vasurat, who was very kind and charitable, lost his way while hunting in the forest. He was extremely tired and afflicted with hunger. Not finding any other alternative, the king lay down within that dense forest, using his arm as a pillow. At that time, some mlechas who lived in that forest came before the sleeping king and began to torture him in various ways. Considering the king to be their enemy, they attempted to kill him. They thought that this king had previously killed their fathers, mothers, sons, grandsons, and uncles, and has compelled us to wander aimlessly. Speaking in this way, the mlechas took up their different weapons and began to beat the king. But to their utter surprise, none of the weapons touched the body of the king, and as a result, the king did not feel any injury at all. When all their weapons were used up, the mlechas became morose and lifeless due to fear. They lost all power to move any further. All that time, a beautiful, extraordinary woman decorated with various ornaments and fragrant sandalwood paste appeared from the body of the king. She was decorated with an attractive flower garland, and her eyes were reddish due to anger. She raised her eyebrow, and holding a disc in her hand, she rushed towards the mlechas to kill them in an angry mood. Within a moment, that powerful woman killed all the sinful mlechas. After this incident, the king woke up. On seeing such a scene, awful scene, the king, who just got up from sleep, became frightened and stunned. When the king saw his fierce looking enemies lying killed, he became astonished and said, "Alas, who is that most well-wishing friend of mine, who has protected my life by killing these powerful enemies? I convey my heartfelt gratitude to him for this great act." At that time, a voice from the sky was heard. "Who else except Lord Keshava is capable of protecting his surrendered souls. He alone is the maintainer of surrendered devotees. After hearing this voice from the sky, the king became extremely amazed, and his heart melted with devotional feelings. Thereafter, the king returned to his place and ruled his kingdom just like Indra, without any obstacles. The sage Vasishtha continued, "My dear king, any person who observes the vow of the sacred Amalaki Ekadashi undoubtedly returns to the abode of Lord Vishnu." Jai Amalaki Ekadashi,